Hey, everybody, I'm Hillary Atkin from the Atkin Report in Los Angeles. Welcome to this edition of Hillary's Happy Hour. I am delighted to welcome Amy Redford, the director of the new IFC Films feature, What Comes Around. Amy, how are you doing?
I'm doing so well. Thank you so much, Hillary.
You're welcome. I wanted to talk about the genesis of this film. What Comes Around was first a play written by Scott Organ called A Thing with Feathers. So how did the project come to you?
Scott sent me this play during the COVID times, and I read the play and I thought it was beautiful. And I thought, not only is this a beautiful play, but this could be a really interesting film. And it's a film we could shoot during these kind of complicated times. And so we talked about what that would look like. And he went back to the drawing board and begun the adaptation. And we said to each other, let's pinky swear we're going to make a movie by this date for however much money we have. And maybe that means we're doing it with finger puppets and an iPhone, or maybe it's going to be a proper film. And that created its own momentum. And then people started jumping on board.
You are even prettier in person.
How old is this guy?
Not college.
Mid-20s?
Mid-20s?
Okay, you should be careful. You don't really know this guy.
You can't do that, Anna.
Too late. He wants to meet you. And I want you to meet him.
Get the hell out of my house.
Mom,
Get
no.
out now.
Look, I know that this is hard for you, but we felt like this was the right thing to do. Getting it out in the open.
Well, there are elements to this story of young forbidden love that probably most of us can relate to. But what were your biggest challenges bringing it to the screen? As I know you were in production during COVID in Park City, Utah.
Yeah, it's probably something that I shouldn't confess, but I secretly loved shooting under those conditions in certain ways because it's like having a closed set. So there was an intimacy, there was sort of a quietness to the way that we were going to be in those rooms, which felt a little bit more authentic than often you have the opportunity to do. I had an incredible producer, Eden Wormfeld, who helped, do the three-ring circus and keep all the chaos at bay. But we felt also because we were in a contained times that doing a contained thriller would be relatable. Understanding that so much of our lives and so much of our communications had gone digital was something that I felt like needed to be explored for better and for worse.
You got such amazing emotional performances from your key actors in this drama. So tell me about your collaborations with Summer Phoenix, Grace Van Dien, Jesse Garcia, and Kyle Gallner.
Summer was my first attachment. So she read it and loved it and she jumped on board. And so everything started to sort of, be a chemistry match after that. And I was super blessed because they're all very crafted actors and they are all unafraid of looking into the shadows and the dark corners. They all brought a lot of their lived experience to the table. I had in Jesse and in Kyle, these incredible men who understood power and what that is and how it can be abused and how it can be used for protection. So it was just a willingness on everyone's part to get in there and investigate and ask questions. I feel incredibly blessed to have had Edie Velasco as my casting director. I'll go on and on about it, but really, they're just really excellent human beings. And I'm at a point in my life where that's kind of non-negotiable.
Completely understood. The film had its world premiere at the Toronto Film Festival last year under the title Roost. Then can you tell me why it was changed to What Comes Around after IFC Films acquired it?
I just have to give a shout out to IFC because without companies like this that have the courage of their convictions to get behind complicated stories, I think we'd have a lot more of a tepid landscape when it comes to storytelling. And they have a great team, and we talked about what it is that we wanted for the film and how for it to perform. And they came to us with these titles. And often that's a hugely scary moment as a filmmaker because you think it's going to be horrible. But I felt like it was a real sign that they understood the film, and they had some pretty awesome people that were at the helm of the launch.
You mentioned that you had a preview screening last night, but what has the general reaction been so far?
I am so overwhelmed by the willingness for people to investigate the implications of the story. And it seems to me from the reaction of the film that we are due to have more complex conversation around human behavior, human fallibility, over the way in which we behave in our devices, over the fact that, you know, if you don't own some of your own behavior of your past, it might fall on the shoulders of your children. And so, you know, these are things that I think are important to talk about and to oxygenate so that they don't cause harm. I've been so overwhelmed by the reception of the audience to these actors and, you know, their kind of breakthrough performances. I feel just blessed.
Well, Amy, I want to wrap up our happy hour by lifting a glass to you and to the success of what comes around.
Thank you. I love a happy hour. I'm here with my green juice. So thank you. Thank you so much.
Cheers to that. Thank
Cheers.
you.